Stop recording button. Double tap to activate.
Hello my yarn lovers, today's video is going to be a yarn review. Okay, go ahead and ask, hey May, what yarn are you reviewing today? Well, thanks for asking. We are going to look at the Premier Home Cotton by Premier Yarn. So if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for choosing to come back. Watch my videos, hang out, spend a little bit of your day with me, and thank you for your patience while I briefly introduce myself to anybody who might be new to my channel. Hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love knitting and crochet. Those are my hobbies, and I also happen to have been born visually impaired. I've always been completely colorblind. I've never seen color, but I do my best to describe color when I know it on the channel. And I am also blind by light, which is why we record in a room that's pretty dark in the evening most of the time. Okay, so let's get to the yarn already. All right, the Premier Home Cotton is a number 4 worsted weight cotton. That's a medium weight yarn. They recommend a size 5 millimeter number 8 knitting needle and about a 5.5 millimeter I-9 crochet hook. It is machine wash and tumble dry, so it is definitely great for those household items. It is 85% recycled cotton and 15% polyester, so we will get into that and how that helps and compares to some of your other home cottons. Okay, so you can get home cotton in these great big cones. I have one here in cranberry. I do want to describe things for other people who are visually impaired, so this is a big cone in the cranberry. And these cones are about 700 yards, so definitely they can be a good deal. Then of course you can get, this is just a regular skein of yarn. This is in the white. You can get it in all kinds of shades, greens and yellows and reds, blues, and these skeins are 131 yards, and then they do have it in the multis. The multis, stripes and stuff. These are about 90. I don't have a whole skein left in the multis, but they are 96 yards. I'm holding it up there, hoping you can see it. As somebody who's colorblind, I do struggle sometimes to purchase multicolored yarns because sometimes the color descriptions are not very good. So I went with Americana. I do live in the United States. I do assume that is red, white, and blue, and I do love to decorate in the red, white, and blue in the summer. I do know that there were shades that say denim, so that probably is a blue. I'd probably be safe to buy something like that. Okay, so let's talk about first, as somebody who does yarn reviews, I knit and crochet, and I certainly think that's helpful because I know some people just knit and some people just crochet, right? So it's fun to see what yarns look like in both knitting and crochet. So one of the first things I did was I just knit up a garter stitch dishcloth in the Americana. And this is definitely one of the fun things about these multicolored yarns. These make fun little patterns. You almost got like an X or something with this. And that is fun. And I do wonder, if that happens with all the other striped yarns. Does it look like that only in the garter stitch? Garter stitch, if you don't know where the garter stitch is, a little bit shorter than the stockinette stitch. So it might look a little bit different. It's stockinette. I did want to try, but I probably should have made a dishcloth with it. It's about the same size so we could see the striping pattern, but I wanted to make a soap sack. So the soap sack is fairly small, so we really don't get the opportunity to see how those stripes might play out in a garter stitch cloth. So who knows, maybe I will buy one of the other multi-striped colors in the future and do a stockinette dishcloth swatch just so we can check that out. I did design this soap sack myself. I have a Whip Wednesday video on it. Just did a provisional cast on, just like a sock, and then worked it up, put a few eyelet rounds in it just for decoration, put some eyelet rounds in the top, did some I-cord, did some ribbing, all that, nothing fancy, but this is a good yarn for dishcloths. It's a great yarn for knitting, okay? That's the first thing that I'm gonna say, is that I knit with a dishcloth in garter stitch. I knit the Soapsack in the round and did the I-cord. I did a little bit of purling with the eyelet rounds, and I can honestly say I've been knitting for 16 years, so I have a lot more experience with knitting than crochet, and I can honestly say that I did enjoy knitting with it, okay? It's good to knit with. I like it. If you're a knitter and you like to do home type projects like dishcloths and soap sacks, I definitely say that this is a good yarn for that. Now, I did want to pause and say, I try to remember to say this when I do yarn reviews, that I am not affiliated with Premier Yarns in any way, okay? I don't get any kind of, financial benefits or rewards for doing these. I am completely independent. This is not a sponsored video. They didn't ask me to make this video. They don't know that I'm making this video, and they did not send me free yarn to make this video, and they probably never will when I get done with this video. But hey, you the consumer will get my absolute honest experience that way. So, as somebody who crochets, I did also want to crochet with it. I did put a little bar of soap in here. So this is just a regular old bar of ivory soap, right? So you can just stash it in. This is about the size of a soap sack. Of course, I made it a little bit bigger because, different sizes of soap. I did want to crochet with it as well. So I went to Sarah Sach Crochet, and she did a crochet summer bucket hat. Now I think she calls it the juicy summer bucket hat or something like that. And she used a different color. She used her orange, and I think my guess is that it's orange and lemon, like yellow, to sort of represent those summery, orange and lemon and those kind of citrusy fruits. Now, I'm half Chinese, and I've been told my whole life I can't wear yellows and oranges. So I knew better than to get some in the juicy summer fruit color. But I could probably get some of the other fun colors. But I just went ahead and used my Americana. I bought a 3-pack of the Americana. I did this pattern from Sarah Sach Crochet. And Posh Pooch Designs, and I really like how the striping, this is worked in the round, right? This is a top down. You start with your center, your magic ring, or if you want to do your chains and connect it or whatever, and you start in the center. This is a free YouTube tutorial. If I can find it back, I will link it up for you in the description box. She walks you through the whole pattern. Okay, and so it's made of the round, so you kind of get that spirally look to it, and I like how the color played out in the spiral. I think that's really fun. So I'm liking their multicolored yarns, how they play out, whether it's knitting or crochet. I think they did a good job with getting the color right for these projects. And then I had just a little bit left of the Americana, so I was able to crochet, and I had I bought the 3-pack in the Americana, so I was able to get out one more soap sack, and this is another soap sack. Stick my little bar Irish soap in here. This one was designed by Crochet with Tiffany, also a free YouTube tutorial. And this one, you start with a chain, and then you work around from the chain, and this is worked, I believe she says it's called the seed stitch, where you single crochet and you chain one. So this was kind of an interesting pattern too. You work it from the bottom, right, and you work up, but I thought it kind of looks cool sideways. You get like these little waves, and so I think sideways it looks kind of neat that way in the soap sack pattern. And being the Americana color, it kind of could look like an American flag, blowing in the wind, right? You see a flag kind of rippling in the wind. So that's kind of a cool look when you look at it sideways. And then just like my knitting one, on my knit one, I did like a little I-cord, thumb dealy. On hers, I just did a little crochet chain, thumb grip, and then I did go ahead and knit the, oh no, I didn't. I did it. Oh, I actually crocheted the little tie, the little cinch tie on these. And I am proud of myself. I've made myself work into the back bumps of these chains. If you watch my channel, you know I had yet to be successful in working in the back bumps of crochet chains. Okay, I took on something that I really have not had success with before. So I'm making myself do hard things, okay? So I did that in the white. I thought the white, I had some of the white would make a nice accent color for the ties. All right, and then let's see what else I know. Oh, I had some more of the white, and so I did another soap sack. This is also a free YouTube tutorial by Crochet with Tiffany. This is a really fun soap sack, really pretty too. I like this one a lot. And these are just half double crochet, kind of like a modified V-stitch. I like it. This was really pretty. This is a fast, simple crochet project. If you're looking for fast, if you're looking for simple, if you're looking for portable, right? Like take with you to an appointment. Like you don't want to make, like if you're going to the doctor's or something, you're going to be in the waiting room. You don't want to make a big crochet project with you, right? But you want something to keep your hands busy on a bus trip or something, like in the city bus. I don't drive. I've never been able to legally drive, so I've spent a lot of my life on trains and city buses. This could be a good, you know, small tuck in your purse type project to just keep your hands busy if you're riding to the bus to work or something. So Tiffany's tutorials were very, very good. This is my first tutorials of hers to work crochet. I think it's called Crochet with Tiffany. I will try to find her back as well for you, but this was a really fun pattern, and you can see it's very pretty. Okay, and after I did the 2 soap sacks, the garter stitch dishcloth, and the hat, this little wad of the Americana, that's all that I had left of the 3 skeins. I do think your 96 skeins, your 96 yards in the multis, they do go pretty far. And with the 131 yards in the solids, the other things I did was I used my cranberry cone. I'd really been itching to use this, and I did already show this. This is a placemat from Crystal at Bag O Day Crochet. I did already show this in a Finish It Friday video this week. This is also a free YouTube tutorial. I did the cranberry and the white. I think that the cranberry is really a beautiful color. I think this combo is a beautiful color for these placemats. And then I did a coaster as well in the cranberry. I just designed this myself, just a simple little coaster with the cranberry, and then put some white trim on there. Very festive, very holiday. One thing I can say about the polyester with it is, you know, we like cotton for our home goods, and I definitely think that the polyester gives it extra strength and durability, and it's soft. Like, I was surprised for recycled cotton and polyester. I was really surprised at the softness and the texture of your finished product. Okay, like the soap sacks are nice. These would feel good to use in the shower. The dishcloths, you could do washcloths with these. Bucket hats, I do think that the color is really nice with the polyester, and I do think there is definitely like a sheen to it, especially for like a placemats. I think you could also do things like table runners with this. I think that this would be beautiful in home decor. I do also think that the cotton and the polyester would be great for like a beach bag or a market bag. I think the home cotton would be really good for. I think also like a water bottle sling if you go to the gym, or you like to hike, or you just gotta plan on being outside in the heat this summer. I have allergies, excuse me. I'm so congested right now. But I think that there's definitely strength and durability with this particular yarn. So I think it's good for anything that you would use your sort of your traditional home cottons for. So coasters, dishcloths, soap sacks, market bags, water bottle slings, bucket hats, placemats, table runners, any kind of decor, hard wearing item that you're going to take outside, right, that you're going to want to wash, probably like a market bag or a beach bag. You're going to want to wash that more frequently, right? It might get dirty out there. Placemats might get, pretty dirty depending on who's eating at your house. They could need to be washed frequently. So I think this is going to hold up well to washing. So that's definitely, I do have a lot of pluses. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of pluses about this yarn. I do have one negative though, and I am going to say it. Now, I just want to first say that I am new to crochet. I've been crocheting for less than a year, and I am visually impaired. So I crochet by feel, okay? So I had a lot of issues with splitting when I crochet, not with a knit, not knitting at all, but when I crocheted with it, I had a lot of issues with splitting. You can see it like on the edge of the coaster. The yarn splits there. It splits there. It's just very, I'm so itchy and congested. It's very, very splitty on the edges. And you can even see it. If you look at the knit, like on the garter stitch and the knitting, there's no issues with splitting at all. So I didn't have the same issues. You can see it on the bucket hat as well. There's issues with splitting. I had a lot of issues with this particular yarn. More splitting of the yarn. Let's see, I have a few other places too where you can definitely, if I can find it back, I don't know. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see, I think even in my ties, I think you can, yeah, even in the ties here, you can see there's lots and lots of splitting in the white yarn. And, if I might have lost my little white soap sack already. If I did, that's totally okay. Oh, it's right there in my lap. Of course, visually impaired moment, right? You got something right with you and you can't even find it. If you watch my videos, you'll see that happen to me often. I lose stuff, misplace stuff. So there's definitely some splitting in the yarn right there at the very beginning when I made my chain. And this is the placemat as well. And you will, of course, you will see lots of, oh goodness. See if I can find these places back with the crochet or not. And if I can't feel them, then guess what? They're not super apparent. But yeah, just in different places with the white, there was definitely splitting. And there's also some places with the cranberry that you're going to see some pretty evident splitting in the crochet. So that's my negative thing that I can say about it, honestly, is that as somebody, well, first of all, though, we're all different, right? We all knit and crochet differently. And so I think if you're a knitter, I think you'll enjoy this yarn. And probably if you're a more experienced crocheter, you probably won't have the issues that I do, right? Like Glenda from Creative Grandma uses this yarn a lot and she loves it. And she's been crocheting longer than I've been alive, right? And I'm learning from her and I love to learn from her. She loves this yarn. She doesn't have issues with this yarn. And so I think that if you are an experienced crocheter, you're probably not going to have the issues that I have. But if you are a beginning crocheter, you might experience some of the splitting that I did. And as a newer crocheter, that can be a little bit frustrating, right? When you're, especially if you crochet by feel like I do. And I know that's probably also what I have more issues with just about any yarn. If I say I have issues with splitting, is with crochet and not with knitting. Like I can knit with a lot of yarns and not have issues with splitting, and then I go to crochet with that yarn and I have serious issues with splitting. I can think of a number of yarns where that happens, and I think one, it's because I'm new to crochet, and two, because I crochet by feel. So when I crochet, right, I have my yarn right-handed, so I got my hook in my right hand, and then I'm feeling the next stitch over to the left, right? I've got to feel that stitch and work it between my thumb and my index finger to feel where I got to put my hook at. I feel my yarn, I stick my hook in there, and I do a lot of it by feel and a lot more manipulating of the yarn by feel than probably people who can see. And so I probably have a lot more issues with splitting because of that. So that's just kind of my theories on why I probably have more issues with splitting, with crocheting versus knitting. My sister's been knitting and crocheting longer than me. She's the first person who really tried to get me. My grandmother knit and crochet too, but she passed away before I was old enough for her to teach me. So I got interested in knitting and crocheting through my grandmother, but my sister did it before me and certainly encouraged that interest. Now she says she has a lot more issues with splitting with knitting than crochet. So see, there's a difference there. So just because I have issues with splitting with crochet, it doesn't mean that you will, especially if you're an experienced crocheter. So when I do these yarn reviews, I am just sharing my experience with the yarn with you. But I also recognize that we all have different experiences. We come with different experiences. We come with our own issues to this world, right? So I definitely welcome your feedback. If you have knit with a Premier Home Cotton or crocheted with it, do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Do you have issues with splitting with it or not? Are you new to crochet? Are you an experienced crocheter? An experienced crocheter might not have the issues that I do. And if you can see, you might not be feeling up your yarn so much with your fingers. So there is that. So I'd love to hear from you because, I'm just one person out here. And of course, we can all learn from each other. So you might have a more positive experience than I have with this particular yarn. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to buy it again. I actually really like the Premier Yarn Company. When Glenda from Creative Grandma did the Soapsack drive, they sent her like hundreds of skeins of this yarn for her Soapsack drive. I thought, how cool is that to see a yarn company like take interest in a YouTube content creator, to take interest in a charity project, to donate that yarn. How cool was that? Like, they really worked hard to help Glenda with that effort, and so I thought that was super cool. So I really like the company, and also this is a really affordable cotton. Like, this is June of 2025 when I'm making this video. I just checked their website today. The Premier Home Cotton is on sale right now. You could get a 3-pack for $4 right now. So that's a really good deal, right? That's like $1.33, $34 a skein. And I think you could probably get 2 soap sacks with a skein of the solids. Like, this is what I have. I did 1 soap sack with my white, and then I did the trim on my placemat. I did the trim on my coaster. I did the ties on my multicolored ones with the I-cord, and then I still have some left. Now, could I actually get a whole soap sack out of this little bit that I have left? Probably not quite. Maybe though, because I did all this other stuff with it. But I think with the skein of the solids, you could probably get 2 soap sacks out of that. So if you do a lot of charity knitting, where you do these for like homeless shelters or charity crocheting, where you make these for homeless shelters, that's a really good deal. That's not even if you can get 2 out of a skein of solid, that's not even 70 cents a soap sack right now, okay, for the sale price. So that's a good deal. So if you enjoy doing these for charity, I would still say, you know, it'd be worth it. And I do think some of the multis are really interesting. So at the sale price, I might still get some more of the multis to do some of these soap sacks for charity. I might get some of the different multis just because I kind of want to do a knit cloth in the stockinette just to see how the colors play out, right? There's definitely some curiosity there. So I'm not saying I wouldn't buy it again. I really do enjoy knitting with it. I think it's a good I think it's a good yarn. I'm just telling you this is my experience. I had a lot of splitting issues with it as a novice, as a new crocheter, as somebody who crochets who's visually impaired. That's my honest experience. Alrighty, well, let me know in the comment sections if you enjoy these yarn reviews. Your input is always welcome. This YouTube stuff is a community, right? So we can all learn from each other. We're here to share our experiences with each other. That's why I'm doing this channel. It's not just about me. It's for me to say to you, hey, what's your experience? And then if you want, I can certainly share that as well on the channel, because that's what we're here to do. If you have a channel, by all means make your own video on your experience with the yarn. But if you don't, but you still want that experience shared, please feel free to share it in the comment section, and I will share it, because everybody's experience in this community of crafters is valuable. All right, so anyways, that's the video for tonight, the Premier Home Cotton. If I remember just a second, I will turn on the light, because I do know sighted people like light to see. I will turn it on and you can get a look at some of these projects. I'll be right back.
Pause. Button. Pause.
Okay, so this is my little coaster. You can certainly see on the edges where I had issues with the splitting, right? This is what I was talking about when I said it really splits a lot. It does. I had serious issues with crocheting with it. If you watched my Finish It Friday video, I did show this placemat already by Crystal from Bag O'Day, and it is beautiful. Without a doubt, their cranberry color is beautiful for these coasters. So again, if you can deal with the splittiness of the yarn, by all means, I say, you know, get it for this project. But even with the cranberry, you can see where it splits in the yard. So that definitely can be challenging for new crocheters, especially visually impaired crocheters. It can be a little bit frustrating, but if you can deal with that, I would say get the cranberry and the white to make a set of these placemats for the holidays, or to make like a holiday table runner. If you wanted to do like a doily, like a Christmas type doily or something, that's what I'm going to use this placemat for, is like a Christmas doily. So, or like a centerpiece, I think it'd be beautiful. All right, this is the Americana in the red, white, and blue. This is the bucket hat by Sarah Sach Crochet Potch Pooch Designs. I really do love how these colors play out. This is a fun, summery kind of a beach hat. I think she also has a beach bag tutorial to go with it. So I definitely think this is a good yarn for beach bags, for water bottle slings, for coasters, for household goods. This is the Americana, the garter stitch dishcloth. Like, how fun is that? That weird X thing in it. That's kind of cool. I really do wonder if that works out that way in stockinette as well, and if it works out like that in some of the other colors. I have no idea, but that's kind of fun, and that would be fun to experiment with. This is my crochet soap sack with Crochet with Tiffany. This is what you work it from the bottom, and so you get kind of these squiggly vertical stripes, but if you turn it sideways, you kind of get some cool little waves in there. So that's kind of cool. And then this is the knit soap sack that I designed. It's really not a big enough sample, I don't think, to get a good idea of what the patterning is going to be like in stockinette.
And then this is also, I think it's called Light and Lacy Soapsack or something like that by Tiffany. This is a really fun, really easy. There's more splitting here, so you can see the splitting at the very chain that I started to work into. But this is such a fun, easy, portable, quick pattern that I think people would enjoy if you want to do these for homeless shelters, or even like Mother's Day gifts. I think this is such a pretty pattern. You could do this for like a Mother's Day gift, or maybe you've got like a group of ladies, or maybe at your church or something. You want to do like little Mother's Day gifts at the church or something for the women. I think that this could be a really fun little gift to do. So that's my experience of the Premier Home Cotton. That is my review. Thank you always for listening, and until next time, happy stitching. Bye bye for now.
Pause.